Hello everyone, welcome back to the Whiskey Pour. My name is Danny. I hope you are doing well today. I want to talk to you today about the Macallan Harmony Collection. Now, if you watch this channel or you watch me on any of my channels, you'll know that I have a very love-hate relationship with Macallan because whereas I do think a lot of their whiskey tastes very good and is very good quality, I also do believe that a lot of it can be quite overpriced. This is one of Macallan's most unusual collections, so I kind of wanted to go through that today and give you my really honest feedback. I currently have 3 bottles out of the collection, so I will go through the 3 that I have and also the rest of the collection in general. It's pretty interesting and it's definitely out the box for Macallan, so without further ado, I guess let's get right into it. So if you didn't know, the Macallan Harmony Collection is a limited annual release where Macallan will pick a theme, something organic, something nature related, and they will turn that inspiration into a whiskey. They will create packaging to go with that whiskey which uses some natural byproduct of that item. It's definitely framed as a sustainability project by Macallan, so you'll see how that kind of ties in to all the boxes. Let me show you. The first Macallan Harmony release was in 2021 and it was Macallan Rich Cacao, of course inspired by chocolate. The packaging for this whiskey bottle uses discarded cacao husks within the box itself. Something Macallan do for the Harmony Collection is they release the main version of that bottle and then they'll also release a airport exclusive to go alongside it. So the airport boutique release to go with Macallan Rich Cacao was Macallan Fine Cacao, for example. Harmony 2 is a bottle I do have. This is the domestic version and this one is Intense Arabica, of course inspired by coffee. The airport equivalent is called Smooth Arabica and the box has coffee bean husks within the actual cardboard of the packaging. The third one, released in 2023, was Amber Meadow, and this one is inspired by meadows and Scotland and land and nature. The airport equivalent was Green Meadow. I really love this one as a concept. I think it just appeals to me and paints a pretty picture in my head. The packaging for that one has discarded meadow cuttings within the box. The packaging for that one is actually a collaboration with Stella and Mary McCartney. The packaging has Mary's photos on, which is really cool. 2024 was to celebrate the oak casks that Macallan uses. So the domestic release was Macallan Vibrant Oak, which celebrated the American sherry season casks they use, and the airport exclusive was this, which is the Guardian Oak bottle, and this one is much more focused on European casks. This one is actually a celebration of 200 years of Macallan. This is also a collaboration with Cirque du Soleil, which you can see on the packaging. Pretty cool collab if you ask me. The packaging, as always with the Harmony Collection, it contains oak chippings that are a byproduct of Macallan's cask making. 2025 is the latest release of the Macallan Harmony range. This is the domestic version and this one is Jing and it's inspired by Phoenix Honey Orchard Tea. The airport equivalent, I believe, is Cherrywood Lapsang tea. The packaging uses waste tea leaves in the cardboard. Of course, all the bottles in this range use natural colour. Macallan is very big on that. They are very big on the fact that the colour of their whiskey comes from their oak, which they're very proud of the quality of. As you can see, all of the bottles have a domestic version and then an airport version. It's not the same liquid between the two. Very often they have a slightly different ABV. The oak bottle, one of them uses American oak and one of them uses European oak, so pretty different for 2 bottles that both celebrate Macallan's oak. I do want to do a quick review for you of the 3 bottles that I have out of the Macallan Harmony range so that I can give you my very honest feedback. I have done a very quick version of this over on Instagram, so check that out if you can't be bothered to watch the full version, or stay here. First one I'm trying is the Intense Arabica bottle. This one is inspired by coffee, which feels very fitting for Macallan because their signature style is obviously very sherried, very rich, and often with those very dark, intense chocolate coffee espresso notes. So this, I feel, works for Macallan. This one smells very intensely chocolatey on the nose, but dark chocolate, not like sweet chocolate, very dark chocolate. Cheers. This whiskey is gorgeously rich and intense and deep in flavour. It has a really nice citrusy note to it. The coffee that you're gonna get it's not bitter coffee, it's the rich, deep note in a coffee, if you know what I mean. It's almost the chocolate intensity note that you get in espresso. This for me is absolutely fantastic whiskey. This has a really nice nuttiness to it as well, almost like hazelnuts. This reminds me in a weird way of like Nutella. But again, it's not a milky chocolate, it's a dark chocolate note. Think of it like tiramisu even. It's got a nice, lasting, dry finish. Really, really tasty whiskey. I would love this with a square of dark chocolate. I think they would complement each other beautifully, and obviously it would help bring out all those chocolatey deep notes. Beautiful whiskey. Next one I'm going to try is the Guardian Oak. This one is the collaboration with Cirque du Soleil, which was released for the 200th anniversary of Macallan. This matured in first fill and refill European sherry oak casks.
Like this.
It smells quite citrusy actually. It definitely smells lighter than the intense Arabica. Cheers. It's still lovely and rich, just like the last one. Still lots of dates and dried fruit notes, to be honest. But this one definitely has a lot more spice on the finish, and I'd say in character, it's less intense than the Arabica version. The finish is longer on this one, more spicy, more clovey, cinnamony spice. It definitely does showcase what good oak can taste like. For me, this one feels a little bit unimaginative. Obviously, all whiskey shows the effect of oak. It definitely doesn't feel as, you know, original as some of the other releases in this range. Out of the three I have, I'd say this is probably my least favourite and definitely the least worth it for the price, just because it's not that inspiring or exciting. Don't get me wrong, it tastes really good. You know. The last one I have is the newest edition, and it is the Jing, which is inspired by tea. Now this is the domestic version, and what Macallan do is they use sherry cask to echo that sort of honeyed floral character of tea. This definitely smells very, very floral and light. I'd say this one is definitely the least typical of classic Macallan style, but it still definitely has that signature distinctiveness there. Cheers. Yeah, it's very light and floral. More honey compared to the other two that I just tried are more caramel and toffee. Very light, peachy almost notes. There's almost a grassy thing going on. I do really like this. Would I say it's necessarily worth the spend? Maybe. I do really like this. It's definitely the softest of the three. If I was going to rank these, I'd definitely say this one, the Intense Arabica, is my favourite. It just feels special, and when you drink it, it's almost like a treat. Like when you drink this, you know you're drinking special whiskey, and I like that. My second favourite is the Jing. It's unique, it's interesting, it's nice and light and floral. Doesn't necessarily feel so typical of Macallan, but then again, this is an experiment, and maybe that's the whole point of this. I would say for some of you, this will be too soft. And my least favourite, although this does taste very good, do not get me wrong, is this one. It just feels a little bit too boring. I'd say for an experimental series, I prefer the more exciting bottles. Are all three of these expensive? Absolutely yes. Can you get better quality whiskey for a lower price? Absolutely yes. Am I happy I've got these on my shelf? Yes, again, yes. If I was going to pick one of these three, obviously I would go for the coffee one. But they're all worth a try if you ever get the opportunity to, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on Macallan in general? Are you a fan? Or do you think they're usually just overpriced and overrated? I'm so on the fence with this. So any clarity in the comments, I'm here for it. Follow for more.